Well, hello there, everyone. How you doing this terrific Tuesday? It's February the 28th, year 2023. Hopefully you're doing outstanding. This is Mazske Finance coming to you from South Florida temporarily. You see stuff is emptying up there, right? Yep, preparing to move. Anyway, I'm going to talk about tomorrow is coming. So before I get started, I am Mazske Finance. I'm not a financial advisor, not a CPA, not an attorney, not a doctor, not a nutritionist, nothing like that. I'm just trying to share stories, experiences, goals that I have, things I've learned over the years, 'cause I'm probably older than many of you. And I'm trying to help you with your future. And your future is coming, no matter what you may believe. Okay? And just real quick here, the reason I'm telling you this. Back when I was about 21 years old, 22 years old, I was living in the country of Panama. I was in the United States Navy. Okay, and I decided to start putting some money into mutual funds. I then transferred out of there and moved to the island of Puerto Rico, still in the Navy. And I was at work one day when a young man I worked with, I call him, he was older than me, but he was still a young man, asked me how much my paycheck was, because we got paper paychecks back then. And I told him, he said, "Why is this so low?" And I said, "I have money held out. I put money like $50 a month into a mutual fund, and I have maybe $50 a month going into a bank or something like that." And he laughed at me kind of and said, "Why are you doing that?" He said, $50 is nothing. But yet $50 can help you to go out and have fun now. And I was like, okay, I didn't really say too much, I don't think. All right. But guess what? Tomorrow has come. That would have been around 1992, 1991, 92, somewhere in there. Tomorrow has come. It's like 30 some years later it has come. Okay? So with that being said, start today. Change your life for the better. Okay? Now let me relay another story to you. Back in the 80s, smoking cigarettes was a lot more common than it is now. A lot of kids smoked back then. A lot of teenagers smoked back then. I tried my hand at smoking too because it was just a thing to do. And I can remember hearing then how smoking was bad for you. I remember meeting the father of one of my good friend's girlfriends. And he had been a lifelong smoker. He was old. And he was hacking up a lung basically. And he ended up dying. I met another guy who was older. And who every time I saw him, he was drinking beer, smoking cigarettes. He's now deceased. Did not live to be that old. Okay? If I had told them back then, when I was a teenager, tomorrow's coming, they might have agreed with me. I doubt they would have changed their habits. Okay? So with that being said, as an investor, if you've watched my channel and you have not started investing, tomorrow is here. Because you were watching my channel before. So tomorrow is here. Make today the day you change your life for the better. Make today you take that first step. Make today the day you take that next step. Okay? Now, with that being said, I've been communicating with another young man I know. I love this guy dearly. He's a good friend of mine. But yet, sometimes, shall we say, he's hard-headed. People get stuck in their ways. Maybe I'm hard-headed. Okay? Because I get stuck in my ways. Maybe I'm too pushy. Maybe I'm too demanding. But I've talked to him a little bit about the food he eats. And I'll just bring up, this is just an example. This young man works out a lot, plays sports, lifts weights, and he works out a lot. He physically is in shape. He's young. What he doesn't realize, just like so many Americans do not realize this, what they eat today may come back to haunt them tomorrow. Okay. Now, tomorrow is not tomorrow. That's just a statement about it being tomorrow. Tomorrow might be in 25, 30, 40 years from now. Okay. Let me throw this out to you. I have heard since I was a teenager. I've read a lot of stuff over the years. I have heard since I was a teenager that they think the normal lifespan of a human being, if we could live to our maximum lifespan, is approximately 120 years old, okay? For everybody, okay? Now, how many people do you know that live to be 120 years old? I dare say none of you personally know anybody that ever has, because it's extremely rare, okay? But with that being said, So many people pick up a Sunday newspaper wherever you live at. Even if you don't normally read the newspaper in print, pick it up. Look at the obituaries in the area you live in. I guarantee you'll see a list of names, unless you're in some like 2,000 person town, you'll see a list of names. And if you're in an area like I am in, you will see ages in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, then the 80s, 90s, and 100s. You will see a baby occasionally. You'll see someone 10 years old, 15 years old, stuff like that. Okay, the younger someone is, it's either some kind of fluke injury, a drug overdose, a suicide, some kind of something they were born with, or a car accident, and other stuff, okay? But when people start getting into their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, they are dying of colon cancer. They are dying of pancreatic cancer. They are dying of other stuff. Almost, I'll go on record with saying this in my humble opinion, because there's a variety of doctors that will say this. Almost every single disease is preventable. There are two things that are very important for protecting our health and mental well-being. One is exercising. Another is eating correctly. Which one is more important? If you ask a lot of young people, I would bet you many would say exercise is more important. You got to keep yourself physically in shape. You got to burn calories. You got to build muscle. Most young people would say that. But that's not correct. Food is more important. Exercise is your body. Food is your insides. Okay? Yes, exercise is extremely important. Food is more important. You got to eat correctly. You can be a bodybuilder. You can be a weightlifter. You can be an athlete. And if you don't eat correctly, inside you, bad things may start happening. Okay? Let's throw something out. Red meat and bacon. Bacon is pork, usually. But red meat and bacon. Bacon is processed unless you get free range. Okay? Bacon is processed. It has been proven through study after study after study that the consumption of many red meats and bacon is carcinogenic. Did you hear that? It's carcinogenic. Okay? It can lead to, think about cancer. Okay? It can lead to cancer. But you hear people getting cancer in every single part of their body. Every part of their body. You hear people getting tumors in their calf muscles, in their arms, pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, stomach cancer, throat cancer, esophageal cancer, brain cancer, on and on and on and on and on. So many people. I dare say, almost, I won't say 100%, I don't guarantee anything. Almost every single type of cancer, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, neurological disease, heart disease, can be prevented. And remember I said almost, I don't guarantee anything. Through diet is a big one. Exercise is another one. Lifestyle is another one. Minimizing stress is another one. Sleeping correctly is another one. Having connections, having love in your life, having friends or family or something, some sort of networking system, support system. And it can be a variety of ways. I have this YouTube channel. It helps me because I'm connecting with you. It might be 10 of you, it might be 60 of you that watch a particular video, it might be 100 of you. But I'm connecting with you in some fashion, even though I don't know you. It's helping me, okay? We all need all of these. And at the top, the number one thing we need is to eat correctly. You can do everything else. And if you eat a poor diet, you might die in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s, because you're not at 120, right? Why do you want to die young? Now, with this being said, if you don't start investing, do you want to work until you're 90 years old so you can support yourself? Do you? And if you're thinking to yourself, Maskey, if we all started living to be older, that's going to be a drain on society. Well, our healthcare system is a drain on society. We are spending buku bucks on Medicare, Medicaid, hospitals, doctors, testing, laboratories, all that stuff. Buku bucks. Buku bucks. Like trillions of dollars. If we all got healthier, because let me tell you this, I've had relatives die at all of these ages I've thrown out. Okay? I've had friends die at young ages, usually from violent deaths. And so on and so on and so on. People in the Navy I knew, people in police work I knew, so on and so on and so on. So, but with everyone, if people who do live to be 75, 85, 95, almost across the board with everyone, almost, they get frail. They're bent over a little bit. They're fragile. They get sickly. They get cancer. They're dealing with chemo and this and that. They're having health issues. They might go blind, macular degeneration. Their teeth might fall out. So on and so on and so on. Okay? But my goal is to live a long, productive life, whatever the age may be. Hopefully I don't get killed getting the mail one day or something. But live a long, productive life into my 90s, my 100s, my 110s, my 120s. And to be healthy the entire time. Okay? I don't know if I'll be successful. I don't know because I can't predict the future. All I can do is live for today, plan for tomorrow because tomorrow is coming. Okay, with that being said, if I decide to go to the store today and buy a pound of bacon that's preserved and has nitrates in it, or I decide to buy that big old steak and throw it on a grill outside, okay? I'm adding fuel to that carcinogenic fire. One steak, one pack of bacon shouldn't give me cancer. I could be this age now and say I've had steaks all my life and hamburgers all my life and bacon all my life. But if I stop, will that prevent me from getting cancer? I don't know that answer. But the body is regenerative. The body can rebuild itself from the food we eat combined with exercise. And there's other things coming, okay? So, but the less you damage it while you're younger, the better off you are when you're older, okay? So I'm throwing this out there in hopes of helping you out, both financially and physically. It's all connected. We're all connected, okay? So I've said this almost from day one on my channel, make good, conscious decisions. Think about what you're doing. Think about your actions, all right? If you go out to a restaurant with friends and family, it's good to socialize. But think about what you are going to buy, because on any menu of any restaurant, there's usually a healthier choice. Something. Okay? And as I've heard some doctors say, if they're in a situation, like say traveling, going through an airport, and their only choice is poor quality food, many of them I've heard would say something like they prefer to go hungry for that short period of time than to eat bad food. Because at the same time, something else, intermittent fasting can be healthy for you. Not fasting like 3 days of not eating. Intermittent. The not eating. I'll throw this out one last thing and I got to wrap this up. If you can, when you go to bed at night, from your dinner in the evening to your breakfast in the morning, can you go at least 12 hours without eating food? 13 hours, 14 hours. Can you do it? Can you eat your dinner? And I'll just throw some time. Say you're a normal daylight worker. Can you eat your dinner by 6-ish? Okay, 6 p.m. And can you then not snack while you're watching TV or while you're reading a book or while you're doing whatever? Can you not snack and then go all the way till tomorrow morning when you eat breakfast after 6 a.m.? Maybe it's 6:30, maybe it's 7. And that way you're going 12 to 13 hours. Your cells on the inside need a chance to rebuild. They need the healthy food to eat, but they have to shed off some of the bad stuff and they got to help rebuild themselves. And the way they do that work to rebuild is they're stopping dealing with the food that's coming in. Okay, when they get a break, they need the food to feed the bacteria. They need the food to do everything else, but they got to take a break from it to rebuild. And most Americans don't go 12 hours without eating. Most I've known of, while in the Navy, I've been around people more, like so many people, including myself and the missus, we might be eating a bowl of ice cream at 10 o'clock at night, or a bowl of cereal at 10:30 at night, or a handful of peanuts at 11 p.m., whatever it may be, you know. And then we're getting up to go to work the next day. And we're rushing out of bed, scarfing down a breakfast, and there's been, 6 or 7 hours in there, okay? Tomorrow keeps coming. Tomorrow keeps coming. I was fortunate enough to survive my Navy career. I was fortunate enough to survive my police career without any serious injury. I had bad sleeping patterns for a while. I had rotating shift work, both in the Navy and in police work. I've eaten a ton of fast food in my life. I've done other stuff in my life. I am doing my best now to rebuild myself, to regenerate myself, to make myself more healthy. Okay? Something I'm doing besides eating correctly, I'm trying to do more cardio. I'm trying to do more muscle type stuff, push-ups, crunches, planks, squats. Because I'm not in a gym, I'm not a member of a gym right now. Okay? Because I'm not going to join one at the last minute while I'm here. But I do body weight exercises. We have dumbbells in the house. I use dumbbells. Okay? Because we need to take care of our muscles, because as you get older, your muscles can decline. So you got to do some exercise. You got to do cardio for your heart and your lungs. Okay? And you got to eat correctly. Because as the title of this video will say, tomorrow is coming. We got to plan for it. Okay? By starting today. Both with investing, buying our next rental property, and with what we eat and how we live our life. Minimize stress. Get a good night's sleep. Love life. Love your family and friends. Meet new people. Chit chat with people. Be friendly. Smile. Okay? So anyway, with that being said, this is long. Have a great day. Maskies signing out.